It's September 6, 2025, and these are my thoughts on the current state of play. The 50-year coup that has been run on the United States is darn near come to completion. People continue to think that this is a Trump thing or this is a new thing, rather than the careful, concerted effort of evil people enacting a plan over 50 years. We are dealing with people who have a generational and multi-generational perspective on what they're doing, and most American citizens are not ready to process that. The debt-based monetary system is doing what debt-based monetary systems do, which is grow too large and then collapse. We are on the precipice of that and then collapse part. Gold continues to be the most obvious and universal way to protect your wealth. The gold price is at all-time highs and, in my opinion, will continue to get higher as people continue to dump treasuries and look for somewhere else to store value. The United States and Israel continue to act as terrorist organizations, completely abandoning the Enlightenment values and humanistic values that have made the United States great in favor of the tribalistic wishes of Abrahamic religions. People continue to discount how freaking important it is we just get rid of that crap. Our Silicon Valley transplants from South Africa are still very much on my mind. They are playing by a whole different set of rules than those of us who were raised in the United States were raised to play by. One of the things that often comes to mind for me is how much of sports arenas and sports may shape the thinking of the average person. The average person may be thinking, well, these guys are all playing by rules, just like these sports games are being played by rules, so there will be referees and there will be agreed upon concepts. You don't bring baseball bats onto a football field, but these guys from South Africa are definitely bringing baseball bats onto the football field. And we really need to wake up to it and dismantle the work they're doing. I'm all for people playing whatever game they want to play, as long as they have the consent of all the other players. These guys are moving by a completely different set of rules, and I do not consent to Palantir having any of my personal information, or frankly, anyone's personal information. I really am thinking through the value of saying, these are the core Enlightenment values I believe are important. This is the structure that I see going forward. This is in line with the letter and ideals of the Constitution. We're going to move towards this, and anyone who wants to join me can join me, and anyone who wants to do something else is free to do so. I am at a place where I want to lead a coalition of the willing. I am constantly amazed at the diligent effort it must have took to make sure the majority of the United States population was so willing and eager to go against their own interests and turn a blind eye to the bad behavior of all their representatives. Going back to the sports analogy and the idea that we all need to be playing by the same set of rules, I think a lot about endurance horseback riding. The whole reason we have endurance horseback riding is so that we don't start preferring pretty horses to sound horses. The whole idea of such an event is people have chosen to take on difficult things, both to challenge themselves and to guarantee the strength of horse breeds and human breeds going forward. The point is, if we want to have death match level competition, we need everyone engaged in that competition to have agreed to it. By definition, the human race has not consented to let these guys run the world. We just haven't. Which takes me to the reminder that human rights only exist if all the humans support them. As humans, if we want our own personal safety guaranteed, we need to make sure that the personal safety of those around us is also guaranteed. This is a tricky thing to do because while we're doing that, we can never risk vigilantism. We also have to acknowledge that such systems are easy to weaponize by people who are willing to lie. People who are willing to lie is maybe our number one problem. The reasons why they're lying: religious belief, racism, supporting a system that Even though it isn't treating them very well, at least they know their place in it. Way too many liars out there, motivated by all the wrong things. This takes me to my favorite pet project, which is dismantling the current monetary system and replacing it with something that uplifts everyone. Wouldn't it be great to have a monetary system that uplifts everyone? To make any of these things happen, almost everyone is going to have to give up all of their currently held ideologies. It is not a small ask, but it is a necessary thing to do. The belief systems that got us here and then trapped us here need to be abandoned. This red versus blue stuff has got to go. I don't know what to say about the drug boat in Venezuela. It is very unlikely that you would put 11 people on that size boat if your primary objective was to smuggle drugs, because every person there is drugs that can't be there. I've actually heard some news outlets report that they think there were as many as 20 people on the boat, which means we just blasted a bunch of tourists. Or human trafficking. Either way, I don't think we should be blowing up people who are being human trafficked. That's just me. China has been showing off its weapons and is a very close ally of Venezuela. They have said that they support Venezuela, but Maduro is not acting in such a way as he really believes in that support. I don't know what's going to happen there. It's one thing to have the physical material. It is a completely different thing to step up and use it. And that is the next test for China. Beyond selling other countries things that are really useful, will you yourself deploy the tools that you have created to push your ends forward? We are now living in a world that is completely might makes right, and I think it is a very bad decision to have made. And again, to fix it, we need an active citizenry telling our representatives, hey guys, y'all have been getting away with a lot of stuff for the last 20 years, and we're now going to have to step in and fix it. And people always ask, well, how do we do that? Well, we get everyone saying it, and then I'm pretty sure the means of doing it will come available to us. The first step is to get everyone saying it.